Good morning, guys. Hope you're doing well. Today, I want to talk about body image issues. You know, this is just my personal take. I think that, you know, obviously talking about body image can always improve, but I think in general, I think the female community does a good job or a better job of talking about this issue compared to the male community. I just feel like it's really not talked a lot about in male circles. So I think it's a good topic to discuss. And second, before I get started, I just want to thank John, um, for giving me this as a suggestion for a vlog topic. John's obviously a friend of mine, but just to shout him out, he and his girlfriend Asia do a podcast called Tofu Talk Podcast, and I've been on their podcast, so feel free to check them out. And thank you, John, for giving me the topic. So the first aspect that I'm going to kind of approach this topic from is the mental health one. And in that, I want to say the first piece of advice is stop comparing. I think I say this a lot, but the quote, "comparison is the thief of joy," is very much relevant in body image. Um, what we see, in models, what we see in social media, understand this is a very small minority of people that have these, whether it's faces or bodies that have them, right? First. Second, understand that they're often heavily curated, right? Um, a lot of makeup can be added, to the face, to the skin. They can be photoshopped. Like, there's a lot that we have to realize that is being done behind the scenes, where the human we're seeing is not a natural human that we would see if we were getting lunch with them. The second piece of advice that I would give is, if you're being bullied about it, understand that the person hurting you is a lowlife. To find enjoyment in hurting others is pretty sad. And I mean, you could, it's very tough to do this depending on the age, junior high, elementary, middle, or, high school, whatever, depending on the age, or even later in life. If you have the ability to say to them, "I'm so sorry for you that you need to hurt others in order to gain popularity or find enjoyment," because I hope that sticks with them. The bully. The second thing I would say is understand you're not alone. It's a common thing, a lot of the stuff that I speak about in terms of mental health, everybody was, is or was going through it, but people don't speak about it a lot. And it is common to feel self-conscious about your body and your facial image or whatever. It is common for us, for some days, for us to feel better than others. And I wouldn't let that be the only factor in how you view yourself. You have a personality, you have a character, there's other things that make up who you are. I often, even I did this myself, like, I wouldn't go after certain girls because I'd view them as too pretty and I'm not in shape enough, or I don't have enough of a good face to be with that person. They're out of my league. Trust me when I say this, like, that's not true. Obviously, people are attracted to different looks and stuff like that, but never ever tell yourself it because of my looks that I can't approach a person, you know? That is not the way to look at things. The third thing I would say is there's only one you. Um, and love yourself for that. You know, we're all imperfect in our body and our image. Um, you know, whether you have acne, whether you have freckles, whether um, you feel like you're a little overweight, whatever you have or are self conscious about, understand no one's perfect and understand everyone else has their imperfections. Just love yourself, and whoever has a problem with or doesn't like your body image, who cares? You know, be with the people that love you for who you are. Um, you know, that's my main thing. You know, again, I don't have any formal training on this subject, um, but I also want to talk about the health side, right? And the fact that you can change your body image if you think that would help you, but I'm not saying you need to. And the two things that I would focus on remembering, and let me again, I'm just speaking from personal experience. I'm not an expert on this topic, but what I will say is, you know, in 2017, I was probably 180 pounds. It's a little bit like bigger, fuller cheeks, all that. Now I'm close to 160. Um, I'm a lot thinner. I'm in a lot better shape than I was. Um, and so the pieces of advice I'm going to give are based off of my personal experience. The first thing I would say is realize that all of us have a different metabolism, right? So I have a friend who eats a lot of fast food, a lot of meat, a lot of processed food. And you know what? He's thin as a stick. If I had that diet, I'd get back to 160 or 180. I'm 160 now. Get back to 180, maybe even more. That's just what, you know. I don't know what the, you know, a scientist could better speak to that, or a nutritionist, but you know, that's just genes. That's metabolism, um, and so that's where comparing yourself to another person is not a good idea. The second thing I'll say, again, I say this a lot in life and in mental health advice: control what you control. You know, and that means looking at your diet. I think, you know, to think that the food that we put into our body doesn't have any effect on our body would be a lie. What we put into our bodies is extremely important. Our bodies are science in action. You know, when you, like, for example, you know, when you eat a lot of candy and then you suddenly feel hyper, that's because of science. That's because of sugar, you know. And so my take on this is, you know, control your diet. If this is something that you want to improve, you know, stop eating unhealthy foods, stop eating fried foods, processed foods. Um, you know, that putting that into your body is going to have an effect on your body. The third thing that I'll say is, you know, physical exercise is an important aspect of your health. Um, and again, to think otherwise would be a lie. Um, and again, you know, going to the metabolism thing, depending on your metabolism, you might have to do more, right? My friend might only have to do, you know, 3 mile runs a week and he maintains his body weight. I might have to do five in order to maintain my body weight. That's just human nature of what the genes we got and things of that nature. The fourth thing that I would say is that's helped me is I've gone mostly, vegetarian slash vegan. Um, and there's multiple reasons for that. One, I saw the documentary What the Health on Netflix, which makes the health case for it. I also saw the beginning of the documentary called Dominion. I haven't been able to finish it. I watched the first, 25 minutes on pigs, and I wasn't able to continue. But it shows kind of the brutal care of animals. Um, and I think it's important for us to reflect on, animals are live human beings with a heart, and, if by eating meat are we, um, you know, agreeing to the wrongful treatment of animals or to the death of animals, there's a greater debate there. Um, but just something to think about. Um, and I would also say on this point, one of the misconceptions people have is that meat provides, protein or nutrients that plants don't. And I think if that's true, think about how do cows become such big animals then? They just eat grass. Um, again, I'm not a scientist, I'm not a nutritionist. I certainly don't know all the health effects of going vegan. I can only just speak to myself in that it's helped me go from 180 to 160. It's helped me, you know, and, that's all I can say, you know. Um, yeah, so I hope this helps. I think the first 3 points were more on the mental health lens, and then the last, 4 points were on the health side of it. Um, Again, I am not by any means an expert, just speaking on my personal experience. If you feel like there's something that I might have missed, or you have your own thoughts or feedback, feel free to let me know. I am happy to add more or do a second part of this video. And yeah, thank you for watching. I appreciate it.